Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 12th chapter, text 28. Jigyasitatma jathartho muner vyasa sutad asau hitvedam nripa gangayam jasyati adhyakutobhyam jigyasitatmo yathartho muner vyasa sutadaso hitvedam nripagangayam jasa tadhakuto bhayam. Asita, having inquired of Atma Yathartha, right knowledge of one's own self. Mune, from the learned philosopher. Vyasa Sutat, the son of Vyasa. Asau, he. Hitva, quitting. Idam, this material attachment. Nripa, O king. Gangayam, on the bank of the Ganges. Jasyati, will go. Adha, directly. Akuto bhayam, the life of fearlessness. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. After inquiring about proper self-knowledge from the son of Vasudev, who will be a great philosopher, he will renounce all material attachment and achieve a life of fearlessness. Please repeat after me. After inquiring about proper self-knowledge from the son of Vasudev, who will be a great philosopher, he will renounce all material attachment and achieve a life of fearlessness. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Material knowledge means ignorance of the knowledge of one's own self. Philosophy means to seek after the right knowledge of one's own self or the knowledge of self-realization. Without self-realization, philosophy is dry speculation or a waste of time and energy. Srimad Bhagavatam gives the right knowledge of one's own self, and by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, one can get free from material attachment and enter into the kingdom of fearlessness. This material world is fearfulness. Its prisoners are always fearful, as within a prison house. In the prison house, no one can violate the jail rules and regulations. And violating the rules means another term for extension of prison life. Similarly, we in this material existence are always fearful. This fearfulness is called anxiety. Everyone in the material life in all species and varieties of life is full of anxieties, either by breaking or without breaking the laws of nature. Liberation or mukti means getting relief from these constant anxieties. This is possible only when the anxiety is changed to the devotional service of the Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam gives us the chance to change the quality of anxiety from matter to spirit. This is done in the association of a learned philosopher like the self-realized Sukadeva Goswami, the great son of Sri Vasudev. Maharaj Parikshit, after receiving warning of his death, took advantage of this opportunity by associating with Sukadeva Goswami and achieved the desired result. There is a sort of imitation of this reciting and hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam by professional men, and their foolish audience thinks that they will get free from the clutches of material attachment and attain the life of fearlessness. Such imitative hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam is a caricature only, and one should not be misled by such a performance of Bhagavatam Saptaha undertaken by ridiculous greedy fellows of maintaining an establishment or material enjoyment. Greedy fellows maintaining an establishment of material enjoyment. So, this chapter is entitled as the birth of Emperor Parikshit. So, when Parikshit Maharaj was born, the prediction is being made by the learned Brahmanas. So, the descriptions has been given. I'll just read what has been said about Parikshit Maharaj. Just after he was born, the learned Brahmanas said, "O son of Pritha, this child shall be exactly like King Ikshaku, son of Manu, in maintaining all those who are born, and as for following the Brahminical principles, especially in being true to his promise. He shall be exactly like Rama, the personality of Godhead, the son of Maharaj Dasharath. The child will be a munificent donor of charity and protector of the surrendered, like the famous King Shibi of the Ushinara country. And he will expand the name and fame of his family like Bharat, the son of Maharaj Dushyanta." I am sorry, yeah. Amongst the great bowmen, this child will be as good as Arjun. He will be as irresistible as fire and as unsurpassable as the ocean. The child will be as strong as a lion and as worthy of shelter as the Himalayan mountains. He will be forbearing like the earth and as tolerant as his parents. The child will be like his grandfather Yudhishthir or Brahma in equanimity of mind. He will be munificent like the Lord of the Kailash hill, Shiva, and he will be the resort of everyone like the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan, who is even the shelter of the goddess of fortune. The child will be almost as good as Lord Sri Krishna by following in his footsteps. In magnanimity, he will become as great as King Rantidev, and in religion, he will be like Maharaj Yajati. This child will be like Boli Maharaj in patience, a staunch devotee of Lord Krishna, like Prahlad Maharaj, a performer of many Ashwamedha sacrifices, and a follower of the old and experienced men. The child will be the father of kings, who will be like sages. For world peace and for the sake of religion, he'll be the chastiser of the upstarts and the quarrelsome. After hearing about his death, which will be caused by the bite of a snake bird sent by a son of a Brahmana, he will get himself freed from all material attachments and surrender unto the personality of Godhead. And then it comes to this verse, today's verse. After inquiring about proper self-knowledge from the son of Vasdev, he will be a great philosopher. Who will be a great philosopher? He will renounce all material attachment and achieve a life of fearlessness. So, in this way we can see this very special branch of the Vedic knowledge, which is called Jyotisha or astrology. आप लोग कहाँ से आ रहे हैं? नागपुर से आ रहे हैं? ओह, गुरुकुल है वहाँ आपका? अच्छा। बच्चे लोग अंग्रेजी समझते हैं? समझ लेते, बहुत अच्छा। So, we can see how one could, even just at the time of birth, seeing the position of stars and planets, the influence of different stars and planets on the newborn baby, one could see what would happen to that person, exactly to the point. Another thing we notice here, that although it is a tendency not to speak about, not to tell about bad things that will happen in future. But that was not the case with these Brahmanas. They were the truthful people. They, whatever they saw, they just declared. And we can see like what an unusual personality Parikshit Maharaj was. He was endowed with practically all good qualities. He was the embodiment of all the exemplary personalities. His characters have been described as he will be, just go back to those. He is described at first as he'll be like King Ikshaku, the son of Manu, in maintaining all those who are born. Like, born means living entities. Living entities doesn't mean only human beings. An ideal king gives protection to every living entity. And he gives protection and he chastises. Like he punishes. If someone does something wrong, he will punish. So maintaining doesn't mean only providing for that person, but maintaining also means giving punishment, and that's the duty of a king. Ikshaku has been described as an ideal king, and he maintained everyone. Whoever is born, he maintained. And the maintenance means if someone did right, he would reward him, and if someone did wrong, he would chastise him. So that is the duty of a Kshatriya king. Maintaining all those who are born. That means all those who are born, only the other human beings born? No, even the animals are born, the birds are born, reptiles are born. So in this way, even trees and plants are born. So praja, the word used here is praja. In general terms, the word praja means citizens, subjects. But the broader sense of the word praja means prakrishta rupena jayate iti praja. One who is born is a praja. Jayate means to be born. And prakrishta rupena, one who is born in a very special way. That is, he is born in a certain situation, in certain place, under certain circumstances. And accordingly he should be treated. So he'll be maintaining those who are born, maintaining the prajas, he'll be like Ikshaku. And as far as following the Brahminical principles, especially in being true to his promises, he'll be like Lord Sri Ramchandra. Lord Ramchandra embodies truthfulness. He's extremely, we saw, Ramchandra is an embodiment or an ideal example of truthfulness. He just got to know not even his promise. He got to know that his father made a promise to his stepmother, Kaikeyi. And as a result of that promise, his stepmother wanted that Ramchandra should go to the forest. मंदिर का कौन खुलছে? आप लोग और 5 मिनट बैठिए, ये मंदिर खुलेगा अभी. मंदिर दर्शन करके भगवान दर्शन करके जाना. ओके, और उधर प्रसादेर व्यवस्था करो. हाँ, 5 मिनट बैठिए और मंदिर का भगवान दर्शन करके प्रसाद लेके जाइए. Make arrangement for prasad. So, as far as maintaining, as far as being truthful, he'll be like Lord Ramchandra. And the child will be a munificent donor of charity and protector of the surrendered, like the famous king Shibi. Shibi was a king, in order to test him, Indra and Agni came in the form of a pigeon and an eagle. So the eagle was chasing. Shibi was famous for his charity. So one day Indra and Agni decided to test Shibi's charitable nature. So the Indra took the shape of a eagle and Agni took the shape of a pigeon. And the pigeon was being chased by the eagle, and then this pigeon came to Shibi. Shibi was sitting there. He came to Shibi and said that, please give me protection. This eagle is going to kill me now and eat me up. Then Shibi said, don't worry, I will give you protection. Then the eagle came to Shibi and asked, why this is my food? Why are you depriving me of my food? Because it is by laws of nature, by nature's arrangement, an eagle kills a pigeon and eats the pigeon. So that is my food. Then Shivi said, look, this pigeon has taken shelter of me, so I have to give him protection. In return, whatever you want, you can take from me. You want food? I'll give you food. I'll give you some food. And he said, okay, then my food is flesh. So he said, okay, I'll give you flesh. He said, but I want the flesh from your body, your flesh, in return. He said, okay, I'll give it. And his exact amount of flesh as the weight of the bird. He said, fine. And then the bird was kept on one side of the balance, and Shivi started to cut the flesh from his body. But no matter how much flesh he was putting, the bird was weighing more. In this way, Shivi was cutting his own flesh and putting on the weight. And then finally he decided to stand himself on the weight. Okay, you eat me. Up. At that time, Indra assumed his form, and that eagle became Indra, and that pigeon became Agni. And told that, Shivi, we are extremely pleased with you. You are indeed a very, very charitable person and a truthful person. So these are the wonderful examples that we get in the Vedic scriptures. So now Parikshit Maharaj is being, the Brahmanas are forecasting that is how Parikshit Maharaj will be. In maintaining his, in protecting those who have taken shelter of him, and being truthful to his promise, he'll be like King Shivi. And he'll expand the name and fame of his family, like Bharat, the son of King Dushyanta. Bharat is the son of Dushyanta and Shakuntala. I'm sorry, Dushyanta and Shakuntala. So according to, we can see how famous Bharat was and how he upheld the name of his family, because according to Bharat, the entire name of this planet has become Bharatvarsha. It is after King Bharat that the land, the earth planet actually, not only this particular stretch of land, has become Bharatvarsha. The story of the anecdote of Dushyanta and Shakuntala has been immortalized by Kalidas, the great poet who is from Ujjaini, this very place. Abhigyan Shakuntalam. So, Jai Shri Shri Gaurnitai ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Krishna Balaram ki. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki. So in this way, Parikshit Maharaj's wonderful qualities have been forecasted. And then it has been described at the end what will happen. Parikshit Maharaj will be cursed by a Brahmana, that he will die within 7 days being bitten by Takshak, the celestial serpent. The celestial serpent, Takshak, he is actually not an ordinary serpent. He is the original serpent. He is a brother, Takshak actually is a brother of Shesha and Vashuki. He is the son of Kashyap and Kadru. Kashyap is one of the Prajapatis. Kashyap got married to many wives. One of the wives is Aditi, and from Aditi came the Adityas. Like 12 Adityas, Indra is one of them, Surya is one of them, they are the Adityas. Then from his another wife, Diti, the Daityas were born. Who are the Daityas? The Daityas are Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. And Kashyap also had a wife called Kadru and another wife called Vinata. From Vinata were born Arun and Garuda. And from his other wife, Kadru, the serpents were born, the snakes. But they are celestial snakes. Vashuki is one, Shesha is one. In this way, Takshak is one of the sons. Takshak is a friend of Indra. When Arjun went to rather when Agnidev went to devour the forest of Khandav forest, Agni, he ate so much ghee, he drank so much ghee in a sacrifice performed by the demigod, that he has started to suffer from indigestion. Agni was suffering from Agni Manda. The word indigestion in Sanskrit is Agni Manda. Manda means lacking. And Agni, the fire, is lacking. Digestion takes place by fire. Ahang Vaishyanaro Bhutya Pacham Mannang Chaturvidham. Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, I as Vaishyanar, the fire of digestion, digest Pacham Mannam Chaturvidham. 4 kinds of foodstuffs I digest. What are the 4 kinds of foodstuffs? Charba, Choshya, Lehya and Peya. Some food is to be chewed. Choshya, some food is to be sucked. And some food is to be licked. And some food is to be drunk. Peya. So these are 4 kinds of foodstuffs. And these 4 kinds of foodstuffs are digested by the fire of digestion, Agni, Vaishyana. So when the fire is weak, then one cannot digest. So even Agni was suffering from Agni Manda. So Agni had to do something to cure his lack of fire of digestion. So he decided to burn the forest called forest of Khandav forest. Khandav. But whenever he tried to eat the forest by lighting it up, Indra started to shower rains, because that is the place where Takshaka used to live. The Khandav forest was a very dense, deep forest, huge forest. There were many, many animals, and that was the place of this very special serpent, Takshak. And Takshak was a friend of Indra. So because Takshak was living in that forest, Agni couldn't light that fire. Agni couldn't burn the forest. Because Indra would come, Indra would start showering rain and extinguish the fire. So one day when Krishna and Arjun went to the bank of Jamuna because it was very hot. So to cool down, they went to the bank of Jamuna. And at that time a Brahmana came. And the Brahmana said, look, I am very hungry. So give me some food. So Arjun and Krishna said, okay, fine. Tell me what kind of food you want. Then he said, look, I am Agni and I want to eat this forest. But I can't because each time I try to eat this forest, Indra starts to shower the rain and foils my endeavor. But I know that you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead and this is Arjun, you are very dear devotee. So with your help only I can eat the fire, eat the forest. So then Krishna told Arjun, okay, let's try to fulfill the desire of this Brahmana. So that was, and this is how Agni could eat the forest of Khandaban with the help of Arjun and Krishna. And this Takshak was rescued by Indra somehow. Another person who was rescued is Mayadanav. Mayadanav also was there, and when Arjun started to protect the fire to be extinguished, protect the fire, Indra, from his endeavor, he foiled the effort of Indra. And as a result of that, no one could leave the forest. He was moving. When anybody was trying to go out of the forest, Arjun is like a band of, like a fire band. He was moving around the entire forest and protecting, stopping any animal or anyone to get out. But Mayadanav was rescued, and as a result of that, Mayadanav, who is actually the architecture of the demon, Mayadanav told Arjun that if you ever need any help from me, just call me. So when they got the place, after they came back, after marrying Draupadi, when their identity became revealed that these are the Pandavas, then Bhishma brought the Pandavas back along with Kunti, and so he just, at that time, Dhritarashtra, due to the advice of Bhishma and Drona and Kripacharya, decided to give them some part of the kingdom. And the part that kingdom that they gave was actually the useless part, which was just desert. Nothing grew there. So, but Pandavas, when they went there, due to their influence, that place became the most prosperous. And they established their kingdom there, Indraprastha. And that kingdom, Indraprastha, the original capital was Hastinapur. So Dhritarashtra kept Hastinapur for his children, Duryodhana, etc. But for the Pandavas, he gave a useless part. And there they brought Pandavas, then called Maidanav, and Maidanav created a capital which was even better than Indra's capital, or it was like Indra's capital. Therefore, it was named like Indraprastha, the place of Indra, the capital of Indra. And that place was so amazing that Duryodhana became extremely envious when he saw that place. And not only that, he was also insulted by Draupadi there. That place had one magical effect. The magical effect of that place was that a truthful person would see the place as the land and water, he will be able to discern. But a liar would see the land as water and water as land. So Duryodhana, because he was a liar, because he was a sinful person, he took his, when he was walking on the land, to him it looked like water, and he pulled up his cloth. And when he went to water, it looked like land, and he went to walk through that, and he just fell in the water. And this way, Draupadi couldn't restrain her laughter. So, another thing Draupadi did at that time, which was very insulting to Duryodhana, was she called him the son of a blind man, which is actually true. Dhritarashtra was blind, so he was the son of a blind man. But he took an offense. He took an offense. And therefore, he did whatever he did. Deceitfully, he took away the kingdom. They took everything away, insulted Draupadi. So that is how the whole battle of Kurukshetra started. Anyway, to go back to that point, that he was cursed, that he'll be, Parikshit Maharaj was cursed by this Brahmana boy, Shringi. He was just a little boy, 7-year-old boy. He cursed that within 7 days' time he would die, being bitten by Takshak. And what would Parikshit Maharaj do at that time? He would just go to the bank of the Ganges. Hittedang Nripa Gangayang Jashyati. Gangayang Jashyati. He will go to the Ganges. And there he will hear from Vasudev's son, Sukadeva Goswami, who will be a great philosopher. So we can see how they could see the future. A self-realized soul is considered to be Trikala Darshi or Trikala Gya. He sees the three kalas, time in three aspects: past, present, and future. Like normally people can see the present, they can remember some part of the past, but generally about future they don't have any knowledge. But a self-realized soul, a person who is situated in knowledge, he can see time in three aspects. Past, he can see Present he can see, and future also he can see. And how do they see the past and future? They see not with eyes, but they see through the eyes of the Vedas. And that eye of the Vedas, the eyes of the Vedas are known as Jyotish or astrology. Astrology. The Vedas have 6 limbs. The body of the Vedas have 6 limbs. What are those 6 limbs? Chanda, Nirukti. Anyway, I am forgetting. One is Chandra, Nirukti, Bakaran, then? No, that is Chanda. Chanda, Nirukti, Bakaran. Anyway, one is Jyotish. And the Jyotish is considered to be the eyes of the Vedas. The eyes of the Vedas are Jyotish. So it is through these eyes, astrology or Jyotish, that one can see the past and the future. Here we can see that they are seeing the past and the future. What he'll be? He'll be a great warrior. He'll be endowed with all the wonderful qualities. And eventually what will happen? He'll be cursed by a Brahmana to be bitten by the celestial serpent Takshak. And then he will retire from his kingdom, go to the bank of the Ganges, and then he will come across Sukadev Goswami. And by hearing from Sukadev Goswami, he will attain self-realization. And when one attains self-realization, what happens? When one attains self-realization, he becomes immortal. So that is the thing. He was cursed to die, but actually what happened? Parikshit Maharaj attained immortality. Just by hearing from a self-realized soul, he became self-realized. So similarly, anyone who hears properly from a self-realized soul becomes self-realized. He becomes self-realized, and what is the result of self-realization? So amritattaya kalpate. He becomes amrita, or he achieves immortality. So amritattaya kalpate. He becomes immortal. So immortality is not of the body. The body never becomes immortal. Like when Hiranyakashipu wanted immortality, to become immortal from Lord Brahma, what did Brahma say? In this world, no one is immortal, which means no body is immortal. Jatasya dhrubam mrityur dhrubam janma mritasya cha. One who is born is bound to die. Jatasya dhrubam mrityur. So everybody will die. But then how does one attain immortality? One attains immortality by understanding that one's real identity is the spirit soul. Body is just an external covering. Body is just an external covering. The body will never become immortal. If somebody thinks that he will become immortal with this body, he is just wasting his time. Even the demigods, who are actually known as Amar, or one who doesn't die, even they are mortal. Even they die. Even the greatest of the demigods, Lord Brahma, has to die. Then how does one become immortal? One becomes immortal by recognizing one's real identity and understanding or recognizing the fact that that does not die. The soul never dies. The soul is immortal, and I am the spirit soul. When one recognizes that he is a spirit soul, and because the soul never dies, he never dies. Isn't it a very simple understanding? I am a spirit soul, the spirit soul never dies, so I will never die. Isn't it a very simple calculation? A is equal to B, and B is equal to C, therefore A is equal to C. Isn't it simple arithmetics? I am a spirit soul never dies, therefore I do not die. So, it's a very simple principle, and that's what Krishna is teaching in Bhagavad Gita. Na jayate mriyate va kadachin nayang bhutva bhavitavana. Ajo nitya shashvato ayang purana na hannate hannamane shari. Even though the body is slain, the soul will not be slain. Soul will not die. And he is leading to the point, natve baham jatu nasang natvang neme janadhipa na bhuya na bhavishyama sarve vayamata param. You, I, and all these kings, there was never a time when we did not exist, and there will never be a time when we will not exist. We all are eternal. Now, who is that we? That we is Dehina Ashmin Jatha Dehi. Dehina Ashmin, in this body, Dehi, Dehina. Dehina Ashmin Jatha Dehi. This body and the owner of the body. My body. Don't we say that? My body. This is my body. Then who is I? Who am I? This is my body. Now, am I this body? No, it is my body. Then who am I? So that is the simple point that Krishna is making there. Dehi nashmin jatha dehi. In the body of the owner of the body. So who is the owner? The owner is the soul. The owner is the soul. And what is the characteristic of the soul? Nainang chindanti shastrani, nainang dahati pavaka, na chainang kledayam tapa, nayang shoshayati maruta. Achchiddayam adajyam, aklidda ashusha evacha. Nitto sarvagata sthanur achalo vayam sanatana. Sanatana, eternal. The soul is sanatan, soul is eternal. So soul is eternal, I am the spirit soul, so I am eternal. So this is how easy to become immortal. People are performing so many austerities to become immortal. In the past, people have performed such severe austerities, like I mentioned about Hiranyakashipu. Such severe austerity he performed to become immortal. You know what kind of austerity Hiranyakashipu performed? How many of you know what kind of austerity Hiranyakashipu performed? How many of you do not know what kind of austerity Hiranyakashipu performed? How many of you do not know? So Hiranyakashipu wanted to become immortal. So he went to Mandar mountain, went on top of the Mandar mountain, and then there he started to perform austerity. He thought that by performing austerity he will become immortal. Like sometimes some demon also, they cut their body and throw it in the fire to become immortal. Or get some sort of. So anyway, Hiranyakashipu, what he did, he stood on his leg. One leg, left leg. Not only he stood on one leg, he stood on the tip of his toe. He was not standing with the whole leg touching the ground. Only the tip of his toe was touching the ground. And he had his hands raised upwards. And one leg raised upwards. With one toe he was just standing. With the other leg he was lifted it up. Raised his hands pointing upwards. And he just stood there without moving. That means he stopped eating. Like he is not moving, he is just standing there. And in this way, he just stood there for thousands of years. And as a result of that, what happened? The white ants came. The ants came and they found a very nice storehouse of food. And on top of the mountain, there was not much to eat. So they got a very good supply of food. And they started to eat the food. Hiranyakashipu's body. And the whole body was eaten up. Whole body was eaten up. Now can you imagine if an ant bites, how do you feel? Just one ant bite appears to be so unbearable. And what to speak of, millions of ants are biting. And not only biting, they're eating up your body. In this way. Hiranyakashipu did not move. So strong was his determination. He did not move. His whole body was eaten up. Now the ant started to eating from the skin. Under the skin is what? Under the skin is fat, made. Under the fat is flesh. And in this way, his whole body was eaten up. All the flesh was eaten up. Then the ant attacked his intestine. Right? Ate up his intestine. Then they came to his lung. Ate up his lung. Then they came to his heart. Ate up his heart. Then they went to his brain. Ate up his brain. The whole body was eaten up. Only Hiranyakashipu's soul was maintained within his bone, in the marrow. Heart was eaten up. Heart is the place where the soul is situated. The heart is eaten up. So what to do? The soul entered inside the bone, in the bone marrow. Inside the bone is the marrow. So this is how severe austerities he performed. And his austerities were so severe that Brahma came himself. Hiranyakashipu, what do you want? Why are you performing such austerity? Hiranyakashipu said, I want to become immortal. Please give me the boon that I can become immortal. Man, no demigod, no serpent, no animal, no bird, etc. Then he said, no, with no weapon I will be killed. I will not be killed during the day or night. I will not be killed in the sky or on the land or in water. I will not be killed inside the room or outside the room. So Brahma gave him all the benediction. And Hiranyakashipu almost became immortal. But still, could he become immortal? No. Tavo karo kamalo bari nakham adbhuta shringam dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bhringam. Poor guy, Hiranyakashipu, although his body became as hard as thunderbolt, or even harder than thunderbolt, Indra's thunder could not do anything to Hiranyakashipu. That Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bhringam. The Lord came and with his own nails, Nakham, Adbhutam, wonderful nails. Hiranyakashipu's body was Tanu Bhringam, like a wasp, like a bee. Even a child can pierce the body of a bee. It's so soft. Similarly, the Lord tore open the body of Hiranyakashipu. And that is why Krishna is all-powerful. No matter how powerful one may be, in front of Krishna, he is like a little insect. So this is how, although people may try to become immortal after performing such severe austerity, Hiranyakashipu couldn't become immortal. Even nowadays we see people are spending so much money to become immortal. I do not want to die. We'll invent all kinds of medicines, all kinds of techniques. Transplant heart, transplant lungs, transplant kidney, transplant liver. Not only medicine, they have devised the ways when one organism becomes defective, it can be repaired, like a car. Like one part of the car has gone bad, like the carburetor is not working. Okay, get a new carburetor and fit it. The gear is not working, get a new gearbox. But for how long? How long can you carry on? One day the car has to be rejected. One day the car has to be sent to the junkyard. So similarly, one day everybody has to go to the crematorium. No matter how many times you change the carburetor, how many times you change the gearbox, how many times you change the wheels, how many times you change the ignition switch. Eventually, no matter how many times you transplant your heart, transplant your lungs, transplant your kidney, one day we have to go. This body is going to die. But the soul will never die. Just like we may change our shirt, but if we change the shirt, does it mean that we stop to exist because we took the shirt off? No. Only when we think that this shirt is me, then we will think, oh, my shirt is gone, I am finished. Because I am the shirt. I am my dress. When the dress is gone, I am gone. But when you realize who is real I, who am I, then very easily we attain immortality. It's as simple as that. So Parikshit Maharaj, although he was cursed by a Brahmana boy that he'll die within 7 days, did he die? No. He attained immortality. All he did is gave up his old body. But he went back to the spiritual sky, attaining his spiritual perfection. And anybody who follows the process will achieve the same result. Isn't it? Anybody who follows the process will achieve the same result. So is it difficult to become immortal? At least theoretically it is not difficult. Now in practice we have to apply it. And those who will apply the principle will become immortal. So amritataya kalpate. Na jayate va amriyate va kadachin. He'll never be born, he'll never die. Jad gatvana nivartante stadhama paramam. By going back to the spiritual sky, one will never come back to this material nature. He will attain his eternal spiritual identity. Now on our part, we simply practice, and then Krishna will reward us if we practice, if he is satisfied with our practice. Krishna simply wants to see that we are practicing sincerely. Yes, to attain immortality is difficult. To become free from material bondage is difficult. But Krishna gave a process. And when Krishna sees that we are practicing the process, then Krishna will reward us. He will make us immortal. And when will we achieve that immortality? We can achieve it either when we are alive or at the time of death. Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.